What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're looking at some more Entitled Parent stories. White Elephant Tantrum. Now, for those of you that don't know, White Elephant is the same as Secret Santa. I spent the day with my SO, my child, and his two at their grandparents' house. They don't really do much gift exchanging for the adults, it's all for the kids. This was my first year there, so I got each of the kids a nice gift. My SO is really close with his nephews, and he spends a lot of his time answering their questions, snapping Lego pieces together for them, and being climbed on. It's pretty great to watch because his kids are in their early teens and he misses the toddler years. We put together a fun White Elephant exchange just for the kids. Most of the kids wanted the same thing, a Nintendo Switch. I'm the nerdy dad and I know how big of a deal this is. I got my Game Boy Advance on Christmas and didn't put it down for 4 years. I got all of the boys one. My favourite, I'll never tell, is my SO's niece. She's 6 and a total girly girl. She is the only girl in the family and is usually somewhere in the background because she is shy. Her mum told me that she really wants Polly Pocket. I loaded up on lots of Polly Pocket stuff to match the price I spent on the boys. I found one that was about the size of a Nintendo Switch and wrapped it in bright pink paper. All the boys had theirs wrapped in a favourite superhero or anime character. What we did instead of the traditional White Elephant was have them make trades until they correctly guess what gift belonged to which kid. The funny thing is that we had their grandparents dress them in PJs to match the gift wrap the night before. 3 out of 8 of the kids there live with the grandparents because their mum has a drug problem. She is the entitled parent in this story. We get everyone swapping gifts and laughing, trying to figure out the riddles. A couple of times we are sure they figured it out from their comments, but miss again. It's a lot of fun and everyone is laughing. Then the entitled parent suddenly goes to one of her younger sons and whispers something to him. He jumps up, grabs the pink colored gift and rips it open. He just stands there laughing. My SO grins, thinking he's just being playful, and goes to get the gift from him to retape it. But the entitled parent grabs the package and sits on the floor in a ball covering it. My SO just stares at his sister, confused. The game's not over, I'm just going to retape it. I know it's the best gift because you want your niece to get it. You guys always baby her. It's a kid's game, you should be ashamed. Everyone was telling her to stop being a child and give the gift back so it could be put back in the game. Everyone had been having fun until she lost her mind. Everyone wants the best of everything for her. Why can't anyone ever do anything for my kids? Her mum, Grandma, said, "Your kids live with us. We do everything for them. We do more for them than all the other kids combined. Stop being crazy. I hate you all." She starts ripping the package apart. When she sees what it is, she throws it at the wall. Everyone came to a dead silence. She storms out. The kids all look concerned, but no one is crying. We just get them reseated. I give them all the correct packages because everyone is so quiet. While they are unwrapping them, my SO gets the giant hamper of Polly Pocket toys from our trunk. All the boys are oohing and ahhing about their gifts. When our niece sees the hamper, her whole face lights up. I never knew a 6-year-old had enough body strength to choke you out during a hug, but I almost found out. For the rest of the day, she was sitting on the floor surrounded by toys. She looked so happy. The boys all took turns helping each other set up their devices. I will forever be known as the cool uncle. As we were ready to leave, we heard my partner's brother and 2 sisters in the yard arguing. The entitled parent sister was screaming about something and the other 2 were telling her she couldn't leave because she was high. My SO later told me that she was saying that I purposely tricked her into thinking our niece's gifts were better than her 3 sons' gifts, and that I was gaslighting her on purpose. Nothing to do with the story, but I wanted to add this. The highlight of my Christmas was teaching all my nephews to do the armpit fart trick. Their parents were playfully annoyed because they did it all evening. I can't help it. I have to pass down our traditions to the next generation. Well, I think the highlight of the story for me is knowing that the entitled parents' kids live with the grandparents and not her. It's just nice knowing that they're safe with relatives that actually do love them and care about them. I just find it so sad that it seems as if you have a really nice big family environment, everyone full of love, and then one person just tries to ruin it. Oh my god. I'd quite like to know what has made your SO sisters so horrible. I don't even know what could have done that, but hey, there you go. Now for our second story. Drunk entitled mum force feeds me to make her daughter feel better about her weight. I throw up. Disclaimer, at the time I was around 9 years old, so was the entitled kid, and this happened 6 to 7 years ago, so conversations won't be exact, but pretty close. Now on to the story. A little background info. The entitled kid and her family are on the more chunky side of the weight scale. I don't want to be offensive, but they were huge. This was their own doing. The mother and father were both raging alcoholics as well, the mother, entitled mum, specifically. School had just gotten out for term 3 break, and the entitled kid, my best friend, and a girl in my grade decided to plan a sleepover. Cause that's what 10-year-olds do, I suppose. I've been to her house before, so I basically just placed my bag down and we go to her pool. We swam for a bit, and then the entitled kid complained she was hungry. I brought some Doritos along, so she hinted towards those. Now, these things were cheesy enough on their own, I got extra cheesy ones, but the entitled kid suggested we put cheese on them, and put them in the microwave to make nachos. We did, although it was kinda disgusting in my eyes, and at that point I wasn't even hungry. The entitled kid got a topped up bowl, and so did I. I ate about a quarter before complaining I was full and walking inside to place the bowl on the kitchen counter. Her entitled mum said, "Come on OP, I know you want more." "No, it's okay, I want to save room for dinner." But the entitled mum replied in a hushed tone, "Just eat a bit more to make my kid feel better about herself. It's not that bad." Trying to be nice, I ate another quarter, then put the bowl down. I just wanted to go back in the pool and swim a bit before dinner. I walked back outside to find the entitled kid eating out of a large punnet of strawberries. She offered me some, so I had about 2 because I love strawberries but didn't feel like I could handle more. She had the rest and we continued to swim in the pool, me teaching her some new things I had learned from my lessons. I'm a surprisingly good swimmer without training, still do well in high school carnivals casually. Wow, what a weird flex. Skip to dinner. We were out of the pool and eating at the table. I had realized the entitled mum had drunk at least 4 to 5 beers. I could tell due to the bottles on the counter and the smell of alcohol she seemed to carry around at that point. The entitled mum places the food on the table and the 4 of us start to put some on our plates. The entitled dad gets involved. "Come on OP, have some more." I'm not really hungry, but I appreciate the work put into making the food, so I suppose I can have a bit more. The entitled mum then decides to hit me with a comment I didn't really know how to reply to. "OP, my potato bake is the best you've ever had, huh?" Now, I'm not wanting to upset her, but I do want to tell the truth mostly. It is nice, but I honestly think it's a close second to my mum's. She puts onion in hers. The entitled mum replies in a bit of an annoyed tone, "Right." A few minutes later, as I struggle to eat enough off my plate to not seem rude, the entitled mum brings out jelly, Jello for you Americans, and whipped cream. Normally, I love sweets, but this was too far. I was gonna throw up if this kept going. Finishing her current bottle of beer, she scooped up some jelly with a spoon and put cream on it, feeding it to the entitled kid in the "here comes the aeroplane"-like fashion. "Come on, OP, time for dessert." "Thank you, but I really am full." Then she starts to push a spoonful into my face. "My kid's doing it, and you can't say no to jelly and cream." Now, in this part of my life, I was an absolute crybaby, very much a pushover as well as seen prior. So I say, teary-eyed, "Please, I'll throw up." The entitled mum finally gets the spoon into my mouth. "Just a little, it will make my kid happy." She proceeds to get another spoonful, put the bowl down, and grab my arm so I couldn't escape. She managed one more spoonful into my face before the entitled kid called out like a hungry baby bird that hadn't been fed in a month. The entitled mum directs her attention away and I go and sit on the couch with their dog to calm myself. It's finally time for bed and the entitled kid flops on her bed without giving me a place to sleep, letting either of us change or brush our teeth. I felt itchy from being in the chlorinated pool, so of course I wanted a shower. The entitled mum decides I'm not moving fast enough, pulls out a floor mattress which happened to be covered in sand and dirt, turned off the lights and told me to go to sleep. I almost tripped multiple times over things trying to change in the dark and not disturb anyone, as the entitled mum had gone around and turned off all the lights in the house, other than the TV and one light in that room. After trying to sleep for about 1.5 hours, I couldn't take it and burst into tears. I felt so sick and dirty and just wanted to go home. I decided to sit on the couch to watch TV and maybe see if I could sleep a little. The entitled mum then, with another beer in hand, found me and asked me what was wrong. I told her I wanted to go home. She's a bit annoyed. "OP, you can go home in the morning. You need to sleep. You don't want to wake your parents, do you? It would be a waste for your mum to come pick you up at this hour. I'll make you a Milo, basically an Aussie hot chocolate, and you can go to sleep." When my kid can't sleep, she has a Milo. No, please, I'll throw up. I feel sick. I want to go home. She sighed and called my parents. My mother answered and sent my father to pick me up. I sat on the couch for a bit before she came around with the Milo I specifically begged not to have. She places it on the coffee table and I start crying even harder. This woman wouldn't listen to me at all, even going as far as to manhandle me to get me to eat an inhumane amount of food because my kid does, and it would make my kid feel better if you eat it. My father came and picked me up and drove me home. As soon as I got there, I ran to the toilet and threw up. My mum ran a bath for me in which I quite literally fell asleep in and had to be woken up. Oh my goodness me, how awful. Were they literally trying to make you gain weight? It seems like that. Oh, jeez. Imagine having a kid that you have massively overfed for their entire life, then feeling guilty about it, and as a result, making their friends eat more as well to try and make your kid feel better. What the heck? Now, OP has actually added to this. As a bonus, my mother went off at the entitled mum for getting drunk and doing this to me. She was absolutely disgusted at the situation and the fact that the entitled mum cared more about her daughter's ego than my well-being. The entitled kid and I later drifted apart, but that's another story. Well, good on your mum, and it also sounds like a good thing that you drifted apart from the kid. I can't really tell from this story if that kid was actually entitled, but her mum definitely was. Oh my god. Anyway, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of r/Entitled Parents. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and you want more, click the video on screen right away. It's one of my favorite videos, so I reckon you should all go and check it out. With that being said, remember to like, comment your opinions down below, and subscribe for 2 videos each and every day throughout December on my channel.